Good evening. Welcome to the Calexico City Council, Calexico Redevelopment Successor Agency, Calexico Financing Authority regular meeting agenda. Today's day is Wednesday, July 6th, 2022. The time is 6:34. I will call roll call. Mayor Chairperson Javier Moreno, here. Mayor Pro Tem Camilo Garcia.
Here.
Council Member Raul Ureña.
Here.
Council Member Gloria Romo.
Here.
And Council Member Rosy Arriola Fernandez. Thank you. We have a quorum. Call to order. Due to the declaration of emergency, this meeting is being held pursuant to AB 361, approved by Governor of California on September the 16th, 2021. And some or all of City Council members may participate in this meeting by teleconference. Pursuant to Imperial County Public Health Department guidelines, City Council meetings are now open to the public at attendance 100% capacity of the council chambers. Public participation will continue to be available in the following ways. Members of the public are encouraged to watch the meeting via live stream at http://communityspectrum.org live or at 6:30 p.m. or via the Calexico City Hall Facebook page at www.facebook.com/cityofcalexicoca. Members of the public will be able to make public comments in the following ways. In-person comments. Submit public comments via email by 2 p.m. on Wednesday, July 6, 2022 to our city clerk at gggarcia@calexicoca.gov or via fax to 760-768-2103. You may make public comments via Zoom from a PC, Mac, iPad, iPhone, or Android device. The number to call is 1-669-900-6833. The webinar ID number is 817-8702-6764, and the passcode is 407744. Please stand up for the mission statement. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance first. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Mr. Urania, can you help with the pledge?
City of Calexico mission statement.
Together we pledge to provide effective and efficient services in a courteous and respectful manner to improve the quality of life for all in our unique border community. Viva Calexico.
Recording in progress.
Please remain standing. We're going to have an invocation. Dear God, thank you for allowing us to gather here tonight as we, leaders here, take your word to better our city.
Gracias, Padre, por este día. Gracias por estar todas las personas aquí presentes. Bendice, Señor, a cada uno de los hogares de este condado y de esta ciudad de Calexico y de esta meeting que va a haber en este momento. Gracias a Dios.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Before I get started to the next item, I'd like to welcome a few dignitaries in the audience. From Mexicali, 24 Ayuntamiento, de Presidencia Norma Bustamante, Ingeniero Víctor Hugo Delgado, Coordinador de Fomento y Desarrollo Económico. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. And I believe I saw Mr. Castillo, our supervisor. Mr. Castillo. And also, we have representation of our 56th District Assemblymember Garcia, Estela Jimenez. And we have Mario Renteria representing, yeah? What? Senator. Yeah, the Senator Wessel. And did I forget somebody else here? We also have representation from the Hefferman Healthcare District back there. We have,
City of El Centro.
yeah, we have El City El Centro as well. Who is it? Here. Let me see that. Oh, Guillermo also? Where is he at? Where are you, Guillermo? Oh, yeah, Guillermo. There you go. Okay. From Assemblymember Garcia. Right. Okay.
Alex Carmen.
We saw Mr. Rebollar. You're from the county, right? Public Information Officer. Okay. Thank you. Oh, yeah, there we go. The Mayor Pro Tem, Martha Singh from El Centro. Welcome, Martha. And also El Centro City Manager, Marisela Piedra. Thank you.
Alex Cárdenas.
I'll get to him. I saw him earlier. Where are you, Mr. Alex Cardenas from IID? There you go. How you doing, Alex? Welcome. I believe that's about it. Yes, I want to make sure.
Teamsters.
La Duarte. La señora Duarte de Teamsters.
Where's she? Oh, that's right.
The unions are here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Norma Aguilar.
No IID board members.
No lo vemos.
IBC board members.
Go ahead. You, Paula Llanos from the Imperial County. Yes, Paula. Director of, I know you got up for another promotion. Imperial County Health Services, right? Something like that. Okay.
Is Margaret Salsa.
Margaret, good evening. Thank you for showing up. Thank you. Okay. We have now the swearing in of the new city manager, Esperanza Colio Warren.
I, Esperanza Colio Warren, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Congratulations, ma'am. I know everybody's waiting for a long speech. I'm not the kind of person that does long speech, but I want to thank first the city council members for believing in me to take this position, to believe in my skills. The County of Imperial for giving me all the opportunities that I have to learn and to learn the skills that I need to become a city manager. To my friends and the community members, they have been supportive to me to take this step. It's a huge step. And for my co-workers that are sitting on the back over there, the Volcanic King, and my family that are across the border, my husband that took the day off to come over here, my son that is important, and my daughter-in-law, and all the community I want to let you know that I'm here to serve the community, and I'm here to be part of the staff and to support the staff and the services that we as a city must provide to the citizens. I'm a true believer in providing services to the community. For those who know me, I actually studied to be part of the government agency that can provide those services to the most needed communities, and I'm here to serve you. Thank you.
Any council members want to say anything? Rosie, you want to say something? Excuse me?
Just welcome, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Gloria? Ladies first. You want to say anything?
Only welcome
Thank you.
para toda la comunidad hispana de Calexico. He recibido mensajes muy importantes en español, que es la mayoría de la gente que vive en Calexico, con mucha esperanza, como tu nombre lo indica, de que Calexico sale adelante más de lo que ya está, con el apoyo tuyo, con el apoyo del personal, con el apoyo de este cabildo. Gracias también por creer en nosotros, gracias por este gran esfuerzo y que Dios te bendiga. Welcome.
Mr. Garcia?
Sure. Correction, former coworkers. But no, just all kidding aside, you know, I also want to extend the most warmest welcome to the city of Calexico. And I think, you know, seeing all these, you know, people come out and support you is a testament of the work that you have done, you know, for the county. And not just for the county, for the entire community. It speaks volumes of your capacity, but not just capacity, compassion. I have been lucky enough to see you at work, to see you in action, and I know that that's who you are, action. So we're looking forward to having, you know, that action. You know, I think it will be Esperanza action. You know, so. But again, you know, thank you to the community that came out to support Esperanza and to support all of us, you know, here in Calexico. And I'm not talking about the council, but the community as a whole, because very few times we have people that come from our neighboring cities and even across the border. So again, that's a true testament that this is something that is building to be a great relationship and great things to come for this city and for this county. So this is something that is once in a lifetime. So welcome, bienvenida. Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Ureña?
Muchas gracias, señor alcalde. Esperanza, bienvenida. Estoy temblando de emoción por el momento de justicia que estamos viviendo en la presencia de este recinto con nuestros vecinos de Mexicali, miembros de nuestra comunidad. Sabemos que en el Valle Imperial históricamente ha habido mucha discriminación, mucho racismo, mucho desprecio de los talentos de los cachanillas, de las personas que vienen de varios estados de México, desprecio hacia los bilingües, desprecio hacia los hispanohablantes, desprecio y violencia en contra de las mujeres. Hoy estamos presenciando usted tomando el cargo más importante de esta ciudad, que es la que verdaderamente administra todo, ¿verdad? Nosotros aquí estamos para supervisar, usted es la que va a poner manos a la obra y la confío al 100%. Entonces, no solamente es validar puntos de diversidad, de que es mujer, es cachanilla, habla español, no, al contrario, es una afirmación positiva a las cualidades tremendas que llevan esas categorías de ser mujer fuerte en este mundo machista, de ser cachanilla en el Valle Imperial por los tantos años de experiencia que tiene usted trabajando en este condado imperial y poder llegar aquí donde usted merecidamente toma protesta. Felicidades.
Gracias.
Well, Esperanza, it was an extensive search, extensive application process. It wasn't easy to hire our next CEO, especially because we're in trouble in times where a pandemic. We have, like the name says, Esperanza, right? We have hope, but more than hope, we have the citizens of Calexico finally uniting up here and the citizens up there. And all I can sum it up as one thing, Esperanza, is a person is not measured by what is owed, what the person has, the money, the luxury, the items, the possessions. You know what is measured? Is measured of the people you've touched. And it's evident right now tonight that you touched a lot of people's heart. That's where they're here. So welcome.
Thank you.
The next item is the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Ms. Romo, second by Mr. Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried 5-0. Thank you. Next item is the announcements. These proceedings may be viewed on the City of Calexico website at www.calexico.ca.gov the Friday following the City Council meeting. Community office hours with Mayor Moreno will be held by appointment. Please contact the City Clerk's office at 760-768-2102 to schedule an appointment. The next item we have is public comments. Public comments and public appearances, not to exceed 3 minutes. This is the time for the public to address the City Council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The mayor will recognize you, and when you come to the microphone, please state your name and place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay the council meetings with personal or slanderous remarks. The City Council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. If the item you wish to comment on is on the public portion of the agenda, we will take your comments when we get to the item on the agenda. Please direct your questions and comments to the City Council. I have Okay, I have 10 public comments. Do we have any online comments? Okay. We will start with Maritza. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Mayor. I just want an opportunity to tell the community that, just like what you said, we are extremely, extremely excited to have you here. This community is so fortunate to have you, and we know that. And those people that have had the experiences of working with you, such as myself, know the skills that you have and the capability that you have of finding the solutions similar to what we need. So I just wanted to come up here, bring you a beautiful set of flowers, and let you know from my heart that all of the community is here for you. Thank you so much for choosing us.
The next item we have Mr. Benny Horton.
Ben Horton, Calexico, distinguished members of the City Council, and to Esperanza, welcome. You have the high ground. Move with it. All right, thank you. What I want to talk about today, and I have, what do you call it, pictures of it, and I'm going to... Sorry, we can't hear you. Testing. Is there a problem with, can you hear me now? Yes. Okay, thank you. I'll make it a little louder. I have this here, which is called a sticker for disabled. I have a photo here of a vehicle from Mexicali belonging to the mayor, parked in a disabled area. I believe it was at Walmart. I wasn't there. This was given to me in a meeting at Starbucks with some parents. And the vehicle has Baja plates belonging to the mayor. I do not say this lightly, ladies and gentlemen, but if you have a car and you live in Calexico, you're supposed to have it registered in California. This one is not, but it's used more than about 80 to 70% by the mayor. This is not right. This is not right. If we all uphold the laws, we should adhere to them. And then another situation is in reference to one of our city council says that he has some mental, physical problems, but he's asking to have longer time to speak, which in his own word, this took place in El Centro. I'm saying right now, if we're going to be working, we should work at a higher standard. I feel for myself, I try to live at a higher standard than other people expect of me. I'll end it there. Thank you.
Mr. Ismael Arvizu, I know you have two items. Do you want to get both of them? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Buenas tardes. Glad to see a full house here today. I'd like to just talk about the two movements that we're gonna see for the city council, for the mayor and the pro term mayor. I'd just like to point out that whoever gets these two new positions, I'm just excited to work and have the proactive conversations of getting the city back to where it should be, right? And it's awesome to see Esperanza here today because it feels like we're just flipping a new page. And I hope we can all flip that new page, right? So I ask for the next mayor and pro term mayor to be involved, right? Because I know it's very hard to kind of put yourself out there in this small town, but there's plenty of things to do out here. So I encourage everyone, even those that are not the mayor or pro term mayor, to be involved, right? I don't think it's much to ask for a city council, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the next step, the next year that we're going through, because we're coming back, and that includes bringing in restrooms, water fountains, using the ARPA funds for what they're used and what they're needed to be used on, and what was voted on to be used. But yeah, so high hopes with Esperanza here, a lot of hope, literally, right? Pues I do look forward and working with whoever's next in line. Thank you.
Gilberto Manzanares.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Gilberto Manzanares. First of all, congratulations, Esperanza. I don't think it's a secret that we've been really wanting and needing a city manager in this city badly. You'll get to know us for sure eventually. One thing that I wanted to talk about, que no está en la agenda, is what you're holding right now is a petition that I went around downtown collecting 50 small business signatures from downtown owners, just because one of the budget meetings, it was Les Dije that I went and did that, so I just brought the documents and actually proved that I did. They are excited for the $3 million investment, which I hope gets distributed soon, because it's been 4 months and no se ha movido absolutamente ni un cinco in the downtown investment. So that's what I'm here for, because in that also Plan B, the ARPA distribution plan, was $1 million of essential worker pay that the people of Calexico need badly right now, since we're living through unprecedented times of the historic gas prices, historic inflation. We live in a time where like 64% of like the United States citizens do not have $500 for an emergency. So the people need these checks, and they need them now. I was very disappointed to see that $1 million of ARPA funds out of the 9 that we had went strictly to city employees' payments, and they went out that same week. And these workers have been waiting for 4 months. So let's get to work on the distribution plan. Now, hopefully with the new city manager here, I hope that it's a top priority. Thank you so much, and I hope to see these funds go to workers and businesses, not bullets and guns. Thank you.
Next speaker is Diana Serrano. Not here. Eric Reyes.
Muy buenas tardes, Eric Reyes, 1135 Appleway, Brawley, organizer for the community-based organization Los Amigos de la Comunidad. First of all, I want to congratulate Esperanza and the City Council for bringing Esperanza in. Imperial County's loss is Calexico's gain, where she is wanted and needed. So, felicidades a todos. The main issue I'm here to talk about is that, as you know, there's a huge development coming of lithium development in Imperial County. It's going to be in the billions, if not trillions of dollars in the life of it. Esperanza has a lot of experience, working at the county. The point is, we cannot sit back as a council and expect one person to do that job of what's fair for Calexico as well in the disbursement of funds. The state just passed the tax, and they gave certain percentages that they're giving. And I'm glad we have here representatives of the county, Ray Castillo, who represents part of Calexico, and Mr. Escobar, who represents the rest. Get on them. Tell them you want an advisory committee that's made up of city officials, activists, and community members, that we want to make sure we have an oversight and recommendation advisory committee to take to the county to see how those funds are distributed. At this point, there's a very general breakdown, 10% here, 20% here. Quality of life, community sharing, environmental, infrastructure, but there's no details. Ahora es el tiempo. There's not going to be no revenue for 2 to 3 years. Do not let it pass 2-3 years before we start talking. Hay que hablar desde ahorita. Prioritize, demand. Calexico demands as much, deserves as much as underserved community as the rest of the county as well. Nosotros te apoyamos. And you also have another revenue stream. And I'm glad we have a representative of Imperial Irrigation District. They will be receiving millions yearly in royalties as well. No one has brought that up in public. We have. Mr. Cardenas, Alex Cardenas, demand as well that everyone get their fair share of a public resource by a public agency. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Ilan Castillo.
Good evening to our city council and to our new city. Sorry, thank you. I come here primarily through my hat through Imperial Valley Equity and Justice Coalition. And I want to touch on a few points that Eric Reyes just mentioned right now. Imperial Valley Equity and Justice Coalition is currently doing a survey in part to inform the community about the lithium and also to get feedback on what you would like to see with this lithium. We've currently launched the information today on our social media pages. We have it on Facebook and Instagram. We have our link at bit.ly, it's bit.ly/lithium-V. This will hopefully, just like Mr. Reyes said, kind of start the conversation of what the community would like to see, and also just to inform of what's kind of going on. Again, just so that this opportunity does not pass us up. And so I would like to inform all the community here. I'm very excited to see multiple different community members from within the county here. So this information hopefully gets dispersed as much as possible. And then just, once again, I think along with the rest of the community, just excited to see this part of Calexico, and just as part of my group from Calexico Needs Change, from Ivy Equity, and then of course as just being a planning commissioner for the city of Calexico, really look forward to working however we need to do to get our city back and running. So thank you once again for your time.
Thank you. Norma Aguilar.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Norma Aguilar, 839 Heber Avenue, Calexico. First of all, I want to congratulate you, Esperanza, for taking on this enormous job, because there is going to be a lot of work needs to be done to restore our city to a semblance of what it was. And I want to let you know, Council, I've known Esperanza quite some time. She attended San Diego State, got her bachelor's there, got her master's there, and I've followed her career, since then. I also know her as a friend. We served on the Alumni Association together. But one of the things that really caught my heart and my eye was, the swearing in, and where it says that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties on which I am about to enter. That describes Esperanza exactly. She will not leave a stone unturned. She's a terrific grant writer, and she knows her numbers. Now, I heard all of you say some beautiful words. I want you to remember those words when she's coming to you, and with her level of expertise, that you support what she's doing. Because time and time again, I have seen, this community has seen a council that gets overly involved and tries to micromanage. You've got a wonderful asset that has been bestowed upon our community, and Esperanza brings hope. Okay, thank you and welcome. Also, just letting you know, keeping us on your radar. I don't know where Maribel is at, but she told me to show
Over
up
there.
with
Yeah.
And so in the future, we will be coming to talk to you about shelter, about a coolness center. And I know you might be talking about it, but it still bears some repeating. And support your staff, your city staff. Support your fire department. Yay, fire department! I love you, PD, but I love my firefighters a little bit more. All right. So, thank you very much, and good luck.
You want, Mr. Castillo, want to say something? Mr. Escobar, are you also speaking? Oh, by the way, Mr. Escobar, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. It's been a while. Haven't seen you.
Good evening. Ray Castillo, Board of Supervisors, District 5. I represent about 5,000 residents in Calexico, but in reality, I represent everybody, the whole county of Imperial, not just my district, but I'm here to represent everyone. I wasn't going to say anything, but when I heard the comments about Esperanza, I thought I need to say something. So I've been working with Esperanza, or we've been working together for almost 12 years when I first got on the board in 2011. And I can tell you, I never, ever in my life seen a more hardworking person than Esperanza. There was one experience that really shook me and made me a believer. Esperanza wrote a grant, and she knew there was a lot of competition for the grant. And so she and her staff went to Sacramento and slept in the front door of the office where she had to deliver the grant to make sure that she was one of the first in line. And the county was able to get that grant. And so many events like that. And Esperanza, I commend you and congratulations on this position. I know you're going to do a good job for the community. And the community is really lucky and fortunate to have you here. It's our loss, county's loss, but not really, because we're all county, right? But I'm glad for the community, and I think she's going to do an excellent job for you guys, and you guys are going to be happy with her, and hopefully they'll keep you here a long, long time till they need to extend your contract. So start looking for that extension now. But no, in reality, we have a lot of good things coming for this county. This Lithium Valley is big, it's huge, and so I just hope that we manage it properly so that we can see the growth that it's going to bring to this valley. It's going to be an enormous change. It's talk about job diversity and job creation. It's incredible what the prospects are. So we need to work with that. On a side note, we have the drought that's continuing throughout this part of the Southwest. It's been with us for 20 years. And in 2011, when I came on board, they were talking about IID having to fallow 25,000 acres of land. And about a year later, they said, well, it's now 40,000 acres. So we've got a lot of issues with water, and we all need to work together to make sure that we don't lose our water in this county. We need to keep our water here. So hopefully I have your support, and you guys need to get involved in sending letters to the state legislature. They're the one that set the laws eventually, but aside from that, my pleasure to be here. Honorable Mayor, City Council, and Esperanza, congratulations, and looking forward to working with you guys. Thank you.
Any online comments? Okay. One.
No iba a decir nada. Buenas tardes, Jesús Escobar. Yo creo que todos entienden español, y si no, pues sorry. Estamos en Calexico. Rapidito, ahora no es business, ahora es nomás una felicitación. A ver cuánto dura la luna de miel, señoritos, señoritas, por favor. Hay que apoyar a la City Manager. Muchísimas felicidades. Tengo el gusto de haber trabajado contigo por más de 20 años. Empezamos en la prepa, primaria, yo creo, etc. Una persona sumamente trabajadora, muy inteligente, muy capaz. Hasta me da miedo porque Calexico está canijo. Aquí soy, de aquí soy. Y he estado en esa silla anteriormente. Pero te deseo toda la suerte del mundo. Cuentas conmigo al 100 a nivel profesional y personal. Y yo sé que vas a hacer un trabajo digno de lo que has hecho hasta la fecha. Muchas felicidades.
Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Escobar.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Tranquis.
You have one online comment? Okay. Okay.
Hi, good evening. This is Daniela Flores from the Imperial Valley Equity and Justice Coalition. I'm here to just make a comment, a brief comment to, of course, congratulate Esperanza Colio's appointment. Muchas felicidades. Our coalition wrote a letter in support for, the county CEO position, and are definitely in support and very excited, and also feel very lucky to be able to have someone so experienced in this position. We look forward to working with you. Our coalition looks forward to working closely with you to carry out your vision and this council's direction for that vision to really improve our community. and making my comment here, just want to, as you get to know us more closely, Ms. Colio, you will see that our coalition has been a partner to the city of Calexico, and we are committed to do so, for the rest of our time here. And just to kind of point out, in the last meeting, Councilmember Fernandez was very disrespectful, rolling her eyes when I spoke last time. And, the mayor recognized me and our coalition in the city address. And so, I just want to make, clear the record and let this be documented that we continue to show up to be a partner to the city. We're not only talking about the problems, we also bring forward solutions. And so just to point out two of our priorities as you come into this position, Ms. Colio, and of course, these are all sentiments that we've already communicated to the city council as well. Our coalition was instrumental in supporting the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA plan. And, some of those priorities, including the $3 million for the downtown infrastructure, the $1 million in bonus pay for essential workers, parks, among other priorities. As Gilberto Manzanares mentioned, it's been 4 months. And so we look forward to your leadership, Ms. Colio, so that we can start implementing that, because it is urgent and it is life-saving. So I hope that you feel the freedom to work with us on this, and we will reach out and start to work together on the ARPA implementation. And the last thing I'll mention around the budget, one of the biggest tasks that you have, obviously, as you come into city manager position, is the budget. And I hope that you are able to, bring some of those community priorities to the front and the forefront, and really be able to provide some recommendations of where, from your expertise, where some changes could be made. And so, we look forward to working with you. Again, congratulations, and thank you again to the city of Calexico and the mayor for the recognition in the last week. So thanks. Those are my comments.
Thank you. Okay.
Comment from Bijan Kamanian. In a recent public works project, New River Improvement Project, the city received a single bid offer. We did not see this project on the July 6th docket. Is this project being considered for award to the sole bidder in this case? 2, if not, when would the project be re-advertised to bid? If yes, and we missed it, is the city aware that the sole contractor is sourcing the pipe for this project from overseas factories? Would the city be enforcing the use of U.S.-made pipe for this project? We understand the funding for the project was primarily with federally sourced financing, which require Buy American products as mandated by 2 executive orders in recent years. This message is from Mr. Juan Casillas, resident of Calexico. Both Ureña and Ms. Romo are claiming to be experts in finance. Has this been validated? Do each of you have the necessary credentials to make such a statement? How then could Mrs. Romo, for example, not take care of her own personal finances when she claimed bankruptcy and hadn't paid back the city of Calexico for the home loans she received from the city? Since being elected to public office, Mrs. Romo has deliberately taken advantage of taxpayers' money.
Mr. Mayor, I think this is a slanderous comment. I don't know if this is. I'm sorry, Gabby. Just a point of order.
Hold on, Gabby.
I'm very sorry, Ms. Garcia. I think under our rules we can't make slanderous remarks or allegations towards council people, and this is about Ms. Romo's alleged personal finances. I don't know if you'll allow it or...
You know, I mean, there's, under the First Amendment, it's a broad ability for the public to comment on council items.
Okay, then
So,
we proceed.
unfortunately,
Of course. I
as
just wanted to
elected
highlight
officials,
the nature of that comment.
yeah, that just, unfortunately, that's,
Yeah,
as
it's
elected
very
officials, there's a
unfortunate,
very
yeah.
low bar on that.
Thank you, Mr. Reina. We'll take it.
I'm sorry about that, Gabby. Go ahead.
She has been using a laptop that belongs to Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District since becoming a council member. The laptop belongs to Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District, an elected and nonprofit business located in Calexico. Ms. Romo has served as an elected official at Heffernan Memorial for some time, and now she is no longer an acting member at Heffernan Memorial. It is her responsibility to return the laptop. It's been over a year and a half, yet the laptop still remains in your possession, Ms. Romo. You are the responsible to return the laptop. Mr. Ureña also claims to be an expert in statistics. I heard that he cannot keep a job. How is it that Mr. Ureña cannot keep a job, or is that Mr. Ureña cannot find work, especially now after President Biden acknowledged that the economy is improving and people are finding work? Finally, I do not understand why Mayor Moreno continues to cater to Mr. Ureña and Ms. Romo. It is a political ploy, a way to keep and continue his position as mayor for another year. Mr. Moreno has demonstrated clearly that his interest is not for the residents of Calexico, but rather for his own personal and selfish self. What an embarrassment to the city of Calexico and to the entire Imperial County. Calexico needs to recall and replace Mr. Moreno so that we can finally have legitimacy and trust in the city of Calexico.
One more.
This is from Mrs. María Camacho. Esta carta está dirigida al señor Camilo García y señora Rosy Fernández en relación con la señora Gloria Romo y el señor Raúl Ureña y el mayor Javier Moreno. La peor pérdida de tiempo es discutir con el necio y fanático al que no le importa la verdad o la realidad, como Raúl Ureña, Gloria Romo y Javier Moreno, sino la victoria de sus creencias e ilusiones. Jamás pierdan tiempo en discusiones que no tienen sentido. Hay personas como señor Raúl, señora Gloria y señor Javier que por muchas evidencias y pruebas que les presentemos no están en la capacidad de comprender están cegados por el ego, el odio y el resentimiento, y lo único que desean es tener la razón aunque no la tengan. Cuando la ignorancia grita, la inteligencia calla. Señor Camilo y señora Rosie, su paz y tranquilidad vale más. Respetuosamente, señora María Camacho, residente de Calexico.
That's it? Okay. All right, moving to City Council comments and reports or meetings attended. I'm going to go first because Mr. Benny Horton stood up there, and apparently he had some information. Well, that car was posted by Mr. Javier Gonzalez. It's not my car, Mr. Benny Horton. Okay, hold on. I mean, you spoke, let me speak. Okay? This car has Baja plates. Okay? This car has Baja plates. This car is my family's car. Okay? It's in my family's name, my mom's name. Okay. It's not the same car. The car you're alluding to, the Baja plates are BFE4203. Right here. You can tell in the photo. The car, my dad's car, which by the way he passed away, and that car is being used in the family because my mom is convalescent. Okay? Sometimes I use her to drive her around. Okay? That car plate says BGC7456. Now those plates come back to my family's car, not the other ones. So I would caution, when you're going to go make slanderous remarks, please do your homework.
Let me do my homework.
Okay. So that's I'm just clarifying something, okay? Just clarification.
You already brought it up.
Okay?
We'll get
So
together on that.
so just to clarify to the public, it's not the same car. And that's Mr. Javier Gonzalez. Let me finish, Mr. Bornhorn. I did not interrupt you, okay? Please. I did not interrupt you. So as you see, when you get elected, you scrutinize. You get scrutinized and people have the wrong perception, but that's the price we have to take, okay? And so just some clarification. That's all I got to say. Ms. Romo, you want to say something? No comment? I'm sure, right?
Yes, I mean, I also felt very offended by Mr. Horton to have my own commissioner up here and question my rights as a disabled American. When I go to El Centro City Council, when I go to the County of Imperial, I always ask County Council. I ask the El Centro lawyer in the same way that I've asked Carlos Campos about my rights as a disabled American. I'm not going to pull out my medical information, but every lawyer except Calexico Unified School District, because we know the political situation there, has agreed that I do have the right to extended time because of my documented and diagnosed disability. You're my commissioner on the Economic Development Commission. I trust you to give me advice on economics, a subject matter that I studied. If you think my disability precludes me from being a council member, or I'm less than, or I'm not eligible for equity, or my rights as a disabled American, you should re-examine if you want to continue to be my commissioner. And that's and that and that and I'm
Wait, listen, I'm a disabled American. I fought in the war, and I did what I had to do.
So respect my rights that you earned for me. You can come next meeting and make a public comment. We'll move on. No feelings hurt, but please be careful because I'm a disabled American. I do have feelings. I am capable, and I want to keep you as my commissioner, but I can't keep a commissioner that comes here and questions my rights as a disabled American. And I'm just telling you,
Here's something you brought it up. We shouldn't even be talking about this.
I know we shouldn't be talking about this.
I make the comment, if it's not on the agenda, we don't discuss it.
Okay, moving on. You're done, sir?
I'm done.
Ms.
Yeah,
Romo,
thank
you got something to say?
Okay, first of all, I want to thank Mr. Diego Favila for his work as interim administrador. Un aplauso. ¿Y saben qué? No me ofenden los comentarios. Gané una elección con mayoría.
Yeah.
Y sé que personas que están aquí sentadas en esta mesa mandan a sus personas para que hablen así de parte de uno. Y sé muy bien quiénes son. Ahora, no tengo nada que esconder. Tengo siempre aquí a la Virgen de Guadalupe. Es más, por aquí está. Enséñales. Miren. Soy una mujer profesional. Y les iba a decir con una palabrita muy bonita, con muchos ovarios, que quedé sola hace 30 años y no me volví a casar, gracias a Dios. Tengo 4 hijos, 4 bulldogs, todos profesionales, todos casados, bien casados, buenos ciudadanos. ¿Y saben qué? Aquí he visto cosas muy feas. City Council que ya se fueron, que no se imaginan ni siquiera lo que han hecho. Y todavía tienen la vergüenza de venir aquí. Entonces, no lo digo por usted, señor Rey, mi amigo que el señor Reisen que está aquí, no lo digo por usted, lo digo por otras personas. Mas, sin embargo, soy reservada en ese sentido, tengo las pruebas en la mano y en su momento van a salir. Aquí estamos para trabajar, señores, no estamos para hacernos ricos. Un político sirve, no se sirve. Tengo muchos años en esto. Y si estoy aquí es porque amo a mi comunidad. Los que no me quieren está bien, estoy impuesta a esto, pero tampoco que echen mentiras. Sí, tuve una preciosa casa cuando me casé con el doctor Gómez. ¿Y saben qué? Tuve que dejar mi trabajo, un trabajo excelente que yo tenía para ser una madre y padre de mis hijos. Y la prueba está, todos los que conocen aquí a mis hijos, que nunca los ando presumiendo, ¿saben qué clase de hijos tengo? Porque hay que dedicarse con amor, con sabiduría, con fe, a formar una familia. Y sí, uno está aquí para recibir cosas buenas, cosas malas. Esto nunca lo había dicho, creo que es la primera vez. He estado en Jefferson Memorial, efectivamente, hubo gente ahí. Aquí hay 2 directoras y saben muy bien que lo que dijeron aquí es mentira. Ahí están diciendo que sí. Tengo a 2 compañeras mías queridas, también de Calexico Unified School District, y saben cómo me entrego a mi trabajo. ¿Saben qué? Nunca me he llevado nada que no sea mío, y lo puedo decir de frente. Amo mi trabajo, me gusta, lo traigo aquí en la sangre. No estoy aquí nomás porque sí. Quiero que Calexico salga adelante, y va a salir, pese a quien le pese. Dios me dio la oportunidad de estudiar, de trabajar, de ser una guerrera en lo que hago. Y eso es lo que voy a poner aquí, con todo mi alma, con todo mi corazón. Respeto mucho a todos ustedes, a todos en especial, a las personas que entregan su vida, su corazón, su tiempo a trabajar. Y la prueba está aquí, miren, aquí tienen a un supervisor. Él quiere el cambio en Calexico, quiere el cambio en el condado. No necesita trabajar en esto y tú lo sabes. Tienes un excelente trabajo, una excelente familia, una excelente madre, mas sin embargo aguantas muchas cosas. A veces tenemos mucho dinero, a veces no tenemos, eso no es lo importante. La vida la tenemos aquí en un hilo. Recuerden, ya volvió el COVID, hoy estamos, mañana no. Hay que cuidarnos, hay que respetarnos y sobre todo, ¿saben qué? Hay que amarnos, caray. Que yo creo que es lo que nos hace falta. Gracias, Mayor.
Gracias. Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, again, I want to echo Ms. Romo's words. Diego, if you can just stand up, and I want you to be recognized also. This man, actually, stood up for us in the time of need. And yes, maybe, he didn't make the right decision or make the right comment every time. But that comes with the job. It's not expected that he's going to have the right word, the right action, the right decision every time. But my respect to you, Mr. Favila, for taking up on this responsibility to lead our city when we needed you. We call you and you said, yes, I'm there to help. And I think the staff really rallied around you and helped you out and kept us afloat. So a lot of the credit goes to you also. Thank you. And I know you're going back to what you love also, which is leading your men. And gentlemen, I'm sorry, leading the firefighters. I think you're one of the most loved, departments, through our community. And it shows. It shows in the respect. It shows in your work. And I'm sorry that I interfered with your response, last night at the fire that was taking place. I was just driving by, but, So, but no, you respond in a time of need. Of course, our PD, our public works, parks, library, reg, everybody. I'm sorry if I don't mention by name, but you know that you do a wonderful job. You do miracles with what you have, and I know that we don't give you enough. But this is the beginning of something great. I think the step, has been taken today in transitioning to something that we have been looking forward to. Looking forward to a change, looking forward to, working with everyone here from different walks of life, different ways of looking at things. And I think that's the beauty of our community. I don't think, none of us are the same. We all bring our uniqueness. Whether we come from humble beginnings, as my colleague said before, from indigenous backgrounds, from well-to-do families, if there are any, but, someone that, actually, I think in what all of us happen to agree is that we love our community. We want to do better. We want to see better. We deserve better. And I think the time for this back and forth needs to stop. Needs to be put to rest. I think if we're going to be successful, that has to be put to the side. We can bring Esperanza and 100 more Esperanzas, but if we don't put that away, we're not going to be successful. I think we need to kind of take a step back and see, how can I make a difference? How am I making a difference? The 5 that are here were entrusted with, the decision-making power of all of you. And I think we don't realize that. It's a huge responsibility. And I'm happy to see some of you that I never seen before in a meeting here. For whatever reason you came here today, I invite you to come back. I invite you to be part of the process where we constantly ask you for feedback. Remember, I don't want to assume. And it is my responsibility also to go to you and ask you. But, I think you getting involved is also your responsibility. As I said when I was looking for this opportunity, this is not about me, this is about you. I'm not going to do things for you. We're going to do things together, right? This is not about, whether I want to be seen or I want to be in pictures. This is about the community being seen, the community getting the services, the response to their needs in a timely manner. I think we have gone through a lot, and to go back and remember those things is just a waste of time. The time that we take to look back is precious time that we're wasting. So, again, I thank you for showing up today. Hopefully I get to see you more often. I look forward to continue working with our neighboring communities, our neighbors from the South. And I hope that this is not the first or last time. I know that in order to survive and to succeed, we have to work together. It's no longer, working on our silos. That's not going to work. It has never worked. And now, our situation demands for us to work together, to pool our resources. So I thank you. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to, the things and the projects and everything that you're going to help us out do, Esperanza. But it's not all you. Don't feel that you have all the weight on your shoulders. It's all of us, including the community. Thank you and welcome again. And thank you, Diego. Thank you to the staff also.
Rosie, again.
Okay. I also want to thank our fire chief for stepping up to the plate. I think you did an awesome job, and I want to thank you for supporting us, receiving our calls and really taking over the way you did. And again, I can express all the gratitude we have towards you. And welcome, Mrs. Esperanza. I think, you're going to do very well with us, and we're here to support you as well. And I do want to echo a little bit on what Mrs. Ramos said, and it's true. I think I want to say maybe our followers or people that feel that we should attack the other council member. That is so wrong. But I don't have to say any history about what's been going on in the past. But we have to move forward, and we have to work as a team. And in order to get things done in this community, we cannot be bickering with each other. We have to work together. And I want to thank everybody that's here today. I think having everybody's support, and like we said, we're here to work for the citizens of Calexico, not for ourselves. And thank you again.
Thank you. Our next item is City Council reorganization. Item number 1, appoint of mayor of chairperson to the City of Calexico, Calexico Community Development Agency, Successor Agency, Calexico Financing Authority for fiscal year 2022, 2023.
I make the motion to nominate Mr. Camilo Garcia as mayor and chairperson of the city of Calexico.
So motion is made to appoint Mr. Garcia. Anybody second that? No second? Second? So it's motion made and second by Mr. Garcia. Roll call?
Mayor Moreno,
No?
Mayor Pro-Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Arriola Fernandez, Councilmember Ureña,
No.
Councilmember Romo.
No.
Does not pass.
I make a motion to re-elect Javier Moreno as mayor of the city of Calexico.
I'll second that.
Second.
I think, attorney, could you look into that?
The motion's on the floor. I second it.
You can have an opinion, of course.
You want to discuss?
The
Correct.
legal question was asked.
Before the meeting, the question was asked about whether or not the mayor could serve another term. I was provided a copy of your resolutions. In 2011, you adopted a policy, and I'll just read what this policy states. The city council will rotate the mayor and mayor pro tem positions annually. Since then, there had been some amendments, but the amendments just deal with the timing. I do understand that since that time, the positions have rotated. There hasn't been either a mayor pro tem or a mayor that has subsequently obtained additional term. But in terms of the policy, what we do have before us, and I wasn't able to find anything else that was provided to me that states any more guidance on the issue. It just says that the city council will rotate the mayor and mayor pro tem positions annually. But I do understand that, but I do understand at least since then, those positions have shifted to a different individual.
So the motion's sent.
Wait. So
No, the motion's sent.
is the language right now prohibitive, or is
No.
it up to interpretation?
No.
It's how you would interpret. We'll rotate the mayor.
Oh, okay.
None of the and mayor pro tem positions. I looked through what was provided.
That can be easily fixed. For sure.
I looked to see the comments that were made, at least what I've provided for the meeting in terms of the discussion that occurred at that meeting and subsequent
Would
meetings. At
you
least what I provided
recommend-
did not provide clarity as to what the actual process.
But if it's asking for a rotation, the rotation is not taking place. Simple as that. I don't need to be told by law, that,
That's-
I mean,
and that's
I don't have a
where-
law degree, but I think you need to rotate.
So the motion on the floor stands, right? According to that motion on the floor stands.
It's the interpretation of will rotate, and all we have is what's in the language here. There was no other
Because
discussion.
it's been done before.
at that.
It's been done before.
No, it hasn't.
I don't know.
Would you recommend we table or we amend at a later date?
Well, obviously, at some point, you do want to amend your policy to be specific
it
as
is-
to what you
At one
exactly
point.
It
want.
is
Because all
amendable,
you have
yeah.
right now is this. I think there is an argument, right, that rotation does mean you have to shift.
The first meeting of
July.
There's no, in terms of the history here, that's all the language that's in here, at least that I was provided to review right before the meeting. I don't have anything else to opine on.
But the question is, the motion's on the floor, is it valid?
It's our interpretation of
Based on what you got there. It is.
It's whether interpretation of rotation.
It's up to us to vote.
No, it's a rotation.
It's whether it says we'll rotate the mayor and mayor pro tem, but that's all I have. I looked at least what I was provided, and I don't have any information as to the meaning of that.
Okay, so can we have public comments?
I mean,
Let's
if
have
there's
public
probably,
comments.
at some point, we probably do have public comments on the item, I suspect.
No, we do.
Okay.
Sure,
At
sure.
some point, we need to have, we need
Okay,
to
so who
have
wants
those
to come
public
first?
comments.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you have public comments? How do we, Gabby, how many public comments do we have? Okay, but yes, you have one, right? You spoke before and then, okay. Go up, yeah. Also, anybody wants to speak on it? Also, yes. Let him go first.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a travesty, and this is showing what we are about as a community. The power trip is not to be heard. It is to be talked about, and everybody that has a chance, you should make a comment known. Here we are having something that's normal. We do the rotation, the mayor pro team, unless there's a cause, should become the mayor. I see no cause that Mr. Garcia should not become the mayor. I am very upset. And then we talked about character. The character of the community is at question. We are a community. We are here to voice our comments. Please voice your comments and let your elected officials know what your thoughts are as a community. We are their boss. They're not our boss. They don't dictate to us like some kind of autocratic ruler that said, we'll give you a piece of cake, be satisfied. People, please, let the people that sit in those positions know what we are about. We have character as a community. I was born in Calexico. I love my community. There's times where I may do things that might be questionable, and I deserve to be called on it. Please, let them know what your thoughts are and say, this is what I want for my community. You don't mandate or dictate to me what I want. I dictate to you what we will have. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Like someone said, or a lot of people said, this is Calexico. And it's hard to watch this, right? First of all, I'd like to critique the system that we work under with this like motion 1, pass 2, vote 3, vote no. I think it's horrible that we have to work with this system as it is. But I know we can't change it because we don't have anything else to work with. So what we see here is obviously just an opinion. See, people voted no for a reason. If I may ask, Camilo, can I ask you a question? No? Okay. I'd like to ask the community a question. How many agenda items do you think Camilo has put out? It's a valid question, because if you have city council members that aren't putting agenda items in the agenda, it's part of doing your job, right? Yeah, so I am fully comfortable not having Camilo as a mayor. Why? Porque to me, I don't think that's the best proactive move, the most easiest to work with. Igual, people can disagree, of course, right? Pero lo feo de que este sistema sí sirve. There's 3 people that are on one side and 2 on the other. We've seen this for, I don't know, I'm not that old, but I know it's been going on for a while. And I ask that maybe you guys can see the light of this. Ya sé que se siente feo when they do it to you, because sometimes, I mean, I've been on the other side of the stick for a while, but I'm very pro this. I wish Raul could be mayor, but I know people would riot if that would happen, right? Yeah, that's a yes. So yeah, and to me, I think Moreno has somewhat tried to help us, right? And I know la señora Romo y el Raúl también. On the other hand, the other side of the coin, it's not that visible, that help that we look for. Igual, it's to interpretation, whatever city attorney might give in information, but I do think that switching so many roles every year no ayuda tanto. You know, I prefer a mayor to stay there for 4 years y que la cague por 4 años a que la haga mejor. Because then you do this 1 year switch, and I just don't see. It's not a power trip. It's
It's a different process.
yeah.
Yeah, if, for the audience, if we have a speaker, if we can let the speaker,
Yeah.
and then if
I
public
like to hear-
comments,
I
we
like-
can come on board.
This is how it works. And
That's the way it's gonna work, this is how it works.
yeah, I do agree. And sometimes, like, I mean, it's a lot of times they said no, or that 3-2 vote has gone south. Who counted those 3 minutes?
3 minutes are up.
Okay, so I ask you guys to speak up, first of all. If you're going to be talking to me, get up here and talk as well. Thank you.
Next person is Esther Gomez. There.
Esther Gomez, City of Calexico resident. I actually have supported several people on the city council, but I do think change is good. I think we should follow procedure. I think we should have a flip. We never know what that person can offer us if you do not give them a chance. So that's my penny, if you want to call it, but I think we do need a change to give additional opportunity. Thank you.
Alexis Rangel.
Good evening, council members. Can
Good.
everyone hear me? Okay. All right. I voted for Mr. Udenia, and I also voted for Camilo. And I think in Calexico, I'm not a fan of the rotation either. I wish we could vote for the one mayor and have that agenda the entire time. That's how I feel. But it is a rotation. And this is going against your campaign promise, Udenia, that you were, you were campaigning against Trump, which was a reason why I voted for you, and I see you doing the exact same things that he's doing. It's just horrible. It's very embarrassing for the city. And Ms. Romo, also, I would hope that you would vote for Camilo to be the next mayor. It's a rotation. If you guys don't want this, then put it on the next election, that if you want to vote for your next mayor for 4 years, or however long it's going to be. But this is ridiculous that we're even doing this. I can't understand how you guys are not embarrassed at this point. Thank you.
Thank you. Norma Aguilar.
Norma Aguilar, 839 Heber Avenue. See how quickly I'm back up here? Respectfully, council members, I disagree with the action taking place tonight. Mrs. Romo, you and I served together, and this kind of same situation happened, if you recall, and it was not pretty, and I took part in something like that because we felt we had a council member that was not in control, and that wasn't right, and I'm ashamed of that. So, and I'm sharing that publicly because it's not something, I couldn't come up here and say, no, do it, because I appreciate everything that you are doing, Mr. Moreno. But if we want to change the type of city government that we have, if you want to go for a strong mayor type of, then you put it, you campaign for it, or you whatever you need to do to make it like that. But don't jump someone who's been there, and like I said, it's a year appointment. If you want to change it, then do it the right way. Make it legal. Make it a strong mayor council, and it can be a position for 4 years. That's fine.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Thank you. Adriana, yeah.
I probably don't need a mic. My voice is loud as it is. My name is Adriana Armendariz, Calexico resident. With all due respect, Mr. Mayor, I believe you guys are doing the wrong choice. It's a rotation. Respect it. It's not a power trip. You guys did it to him already once, and this is twice. Please, I mean, we have a new city manager. You guys need to work together. Make this happen. I hate hearing, and I'm the #1 person that says only in Calexico. And yes, only in Calexico. And I hope you guys really think about this because elections are coming around the corner. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Yes, Ben. Yeah, one? Okay.
Is the language may or shall on the rotation?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a lot, like, it says will.
Will?
Yeah, it's what I read, just what I read, but I'll read.
But is the legal interpretation of will going to be
We're
shall?
public comment.
Yeah, my name is Ben Rice, and I live in Calexico part-time, actually, and I was born and raised here in Calexico. And you know what I'm thinking about? I forgot her name, Camilo. I've been exposed to, I've worked with him. He's a nice person. He follows through. He has such a responsibility, and I'm not seeing that here. All I see is a rotation. We need a rotation. We need beauty in this quorum here. I don't think we have it. And I think there's always conflict here. I don't think that'll ever resolve. You know what I'm saying? We have to work together, and I think we have to maintain consistency here, not kill it. So as for Camilo, he's really a nice guy, and you hear him every session he talks, and he's very informative, he's inquisitive. Damn, that's the mayor we all need. I think that's going to be all I'm going to say. But thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead. Yes.
Good evening. Good
Name
evening.
and address.
Buenas tardes. So my comments more towards the people and the public that showed up today. I think it's very sad and disappointing to see that y'all can make time on a Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. up until what time is it? 7? To come and just, fight and become more polarized than we already are. And when so many times we needed people to show up when we were discussing things about our city, basic needs, the selling of lands, where people were residing, and we're staying at, we're being fed at. I'm referring to the selling of that lot of land next to the border, where a lot of campesinos were calling their home for a while during the pandemic. So it's just very disheartening to see this, that we're all kind of just like fighting like little kids. And like I said again, if we're able to show up for this right now, y'all should be able to show up for all the other things that are coming in the future when we're advocating and when we're talking about really important things, and not just like who's gonna be in the middle seat. Because even if you're a city council person, you have the power to put things in the agenda, and a lot of y'all haven't been taking that power. I don't know what you do after you clock out, after you leave this seat, if you're doing research, if you're just kind of like enjoying your life or not, but it shows what you're doing after hours. If you're really interested, like Ms. Romo said, you can tell that she really enjoys her job. She's really passionate about her community. And it's not about picking sides, it's just what I'm seeing right now and what I've experienced. But other than that, I also wanted to bring up another point, completely unrelated, but now that I'm here. The policy change for the commission meetings, I wanted to try to bring it to the table and discuss if we can vote for it to be more consistent instead of quarterly, bring it back to monthly, because there's a lot of projects that we're really excited to work on. I'm part of the Parks and Recreation Commission, and yeah, if that can be brought on back for discussion and voting, would be really appreciated. It's me and Commissioner Zuniga that are behind this too, so I know we need a second signature for things to go on the agenda. So if that could be added for our meeting that's tomorrow, that would be really appreciated. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Sylvia, go ahead. We're gonna, well, she's already up there.
Good evening. My name is Sylvia Burnell. I serve on the Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District. A little while ago, I heard almost all of you talking about wanting to work together. What you're doing right now is not wanting to work together. There's a rotation business, and as a lot of people have said right now, if you want to change it for a 4-year term as mayor, do it. But right now, what you're doing is not correct. This has happened with us at the Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District too. It's not a happy situation, because if you think you're divided right now, wait what happens if you do this decision. I really hope that you take into consideration, Mrs. Romo, you're a really good friend of mine, and I respect you a lot. But really, 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 I would like for you to think about Mr. Ureña. I haven't known you for a long time, but I respect you a lot because you're very wise. And Mr. Moreno, I also respect you, but it's time. Don't be greedy. Let somebody else take the opportunity to prove themselves. How do you know? You mean to say that in our meetings, if somebody doesn't put something on the agenda, they won't be president of the board? That's ridiculous. Thank you.
No one?
We have an online comment from
Hold on,
Mr.
Marcia.
Gonzalo Gerardo.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Morris, we have somebody on the line. Well, you're next. Hold on. I heard you. Thank you. Go ahead. Gabby.
Go ahead.
Good evening, City Council. It's been a long time since I last spoke to you. I want to first thank you for giving me this opportunity to say something. Esperanza, welcome to Calexico. I'm pretty sure it won't be the first or the last time you see something like this. But one of the things that I want to say is shame on the council for trying to do this. Javier, Mr. Mayor, you knew that your term was up. Mr. Benny Horton did bring something up in the past. It came down the rumor mill to me too. Like I said, it was a rumor and I couldn't believe it was going to happen. But you are doing it. You're very predictable. It's not right. Rotation is rotation, guys. Okay, simple as that. It's a rotation. You don't need to have a master's in English to understand what a rotation is. So what I'm asking you is, and I'm telling you is, that I don't think it's right what you guys are trying to do. Javier, there's other things people have told me, and I don't want to bring it out there because I'm not going to bring it out, but you know, it sounds, what they've told me, it sure sounds like that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to stay on for some reasons down there in Mexico. And I think it should go on to the next person that it should go. Like you said, it's only ceremonial, you said in the past, but it's Mr. Garcia's turn. And after Mr. Garcia, I'm sorry, it's whoever's is the next mayor pro tem, it should go to that person too. I mean, it's a chance that they get to prove themselves that they can continue to, to be a mayor. Bringing in that 4-year thing, you need to have a city a certain size to have an elected mayor. Unfortunately for Calexico, and fortunately for Calexico, the mayor is only there for 1 year at a time. I know you guys are going to do whatever you want to anyways, but I couldn't stay quiet. Even though I'm retired and a lot of a younger generation don't like for older people like me to speak up, but I will not be quiet and I will continue to chime in on your meetings because it does affect my family down there. I was born and raised in Calexico. I'm a Bulldog. I did over a little bit over 31 years of service for the city of Calexico paid, and then another 4 additionally, 5 unpaid. So I want to thank you guys again for giving me such a great send off and coming back and watching these meetings. It kind of embarrasses me at a point, but since I left Calexico, I know that we'll prevail. Viva Calexico! Thank you.
Morris, you need a mic? No. Because we to record you after the meeting, right? You got a mic? You can get him.
I just want to say that it seems like you guys violated the Brown Act. You three already had it together, and that's illegal. You know, you didn't have to even discuss it up there. You can't discuss this out of the box there. And second of all, you had your turn already, Javier. Get off that high horse and give it to the guy that deserves it, the Mayor Pro Tem. You did it already. We know how you work. Let the new guy do it. That's all I have to say. And as far as putting it on the agenda, it's usually the mayor that puts it on the agenda, that puts agenda items. So the deal is that just give him a chance. It's his turn. That's what it's all about. You talk about unifying. You're not going to unify this council by doing this. You guys are already separated. Give him a chance. It's his turn.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, Hortensia Armendariz. Hortensia Armendariz, community member. Hortensia Armendariz, wife of Camilo Garcia. Hortensia Armendariz, serving this community for 35 years, okay? 35 years professionally, and prior to that. For those that don't know Camilo Garcia, okay? Camilo Garcia doesn't have to be a person that has to put items on the agenda. Camilo Garcia is a person that goes out and feeds people with COVID. You don't know this because you don't see that Camilo Garcia posts his pictures of where he's at. He doesn't post pictures of what he's doing. Camilo Garcia goes out on the weekends and guess what? Helps people that for the first time in their life are voting or registering. That's Camilo Garcia. He's the one that goes out every night, every weekend. He's out there cleaning graffiti, but you don't know that because he doesn't post it on the agenda. Or you don't know that because he doesn't post pictures. Mr. Javier Moreno, you were given the opportunity already. Okay, and you had a 3-vote. You had yourself, you had Camilo Garcia, Rosie, and Gloria Romo said no, and Mr. Ureña said no. But rotation is rotation. And you know what? You don't know Camilo Garcia. I do know Camilo Garcia because we are people that work to serve the community without having to publicize or having to take a picture with everything that we do. Something so simple. Lifeguards, swimming pool. Where was any of the council when the pool was open? We didn't take a picture. We were so excited. We went. Aerobics was happening. And students and youngsters were hired. And Camilo Garcia was helping. He was out knocking on doors and asking for donations. That's your Camilo Garcia, a community worker. And I keep on hearing justice and equity. What's just happening here? Ms. Colio, welcome to Calexico, but guess what? Camilo Garcia doesn't need a title. He will be there to help you, help the rest, help Calexico, because guess what? A man like Camilo Garcia doesn't need a title to define the man that he is. So if you need a title, Mr. Moreno, to define who you are, stay with the title. But guess what, community? Camilo Garcia doesn't need a title because he's a real man.
You want to speak? Yeah, go ahead. You want to speak, right?
Yes, Maribel, again. We have a love-hate relationship. Earlier, you saw me approach the attorney. And the reason I approached the attorney is because I asked whether the language in the city ordinance says may, shall, or will. And he said will, right? But I was trying to ask him to give me his legal definition, or what his, I don't know if you're independent or a firm, what your legal definition is of rotation. Do you have a legal definition? Because I know I can ask you. I can't ask anybody else on the council, but I can ask you. So what's the definition?
I mean, I work through the council, so whatever.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I work through the council. I generally don't respond to public comments unless the council.
So you can't respond
if you could respond to her question.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Correct. I was brought up. I was made aware of this issue right before the meeting, and I'm able to 5 minutes before the meeting. I've been going through whatever we have, and all we do have is state city council. We rotate the mayor per 10 positions. This was adopted in 2011. I did try to go through some of the whatever minutes we had, didn't specify. I mean, obviously, when we think of rotation, and
Okay.
I understand that's been the process. I do understand that previously there were times when the mayor was appointed for another term, but I don't have that information to review that, but I understand that was the case. I think it was previous to that, I understand. I don't know the exact dates, but I think it's at some point that was the case as well. I don't know under what guidance, but all I have is what I have was given to me for the meeting. That's what it states here. And I do understand that at least since this time, that's been the case. Has been a rotation.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ask him who asked. Who asked him? How many council members asked him?
You need to come up here and speak up, please.
I'll ask. I'll ask for Diana. If I may know, which council member approached you on this matter?
I mean, there's no privilege. Yeah, council member.
I did.
Yeah, she asked me,
Okay.
and that's where that issue came up, and then.
He wanted to stay on, and you guys violated the Brown Act.
Okay, so
Okay, and I did ask him, because I wanted to make sure that everything was going to be done legally.
So I'm hoping my time is being limited while you guys are discussing, right?
How's that?
But do you have a legal definition to provide for us, the community?
I have some
Mr. City
discussion
Attorney,
also.
I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, forgive me. I'm asking the attorney, I'm not asking you guys, because you can't answer me. You can't engage.
Ms. Norma, if I may, right now I haven't been able to engage because I'm still listening to the public comments that are coming in. I do have some discussion to say. Can we get to the discussion and then come back to the legal questions? Because I think it has been clarified who asked. The ambiguity has been put out there with transparency.
Okay. I'm not engaging into the discussion now whether it's right or wrong. Wrong. I'm asking
the legal definition.
the legal interpretation, because you
I believe
you can't. But what I'm going to provide to you and to this city council meeting is the law.
Okay.
The definition from sorry, give me a second. From Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition, the legal definition for rotation is the completion of one cycle, route, process, or circuit. That's all I was asking, if you could give me a legal definition, which is, I'm not an attorney, but I do good research. So, one cycle, route, process, or circuit.
Okay.
Thank you. Tag team, Diane.
Good. Let me see. Good evening, Mayor and members of the council and public. First of all, congratulations, Esperanza. It's a privilege to have you here in the city of Calexico. And for the young lady that came up here and said that we only come up here for a circus, no. Every single woman that's here came up here because of her. Because it's a big honor for us to have not only the second city manager as a female, but also a Latina. And it is very embarrassing to see what is happening right now. I disagree with your decision, and I'm not here to judge you, but you have to remember that everybody voted for each one of you. And there's a reason that they voted for Ureña, for Romo, Javier, Camilo, and Rosie. There's a reason for that. And you're not standing by that. You planted a platform that you were gonna work together, that you were gonna make a difference, because you guys have all been criticizing the prior council. And when you guys leave, the next council is gonna also talk about you. There's no perfect council, and there will never be, because each and every one of you have a different DNA. However, you guys are up there to serve everybody that's here, and to the people that are listening, and to the people that are out in their homes. You know, I was very active at one point with the city council. I'm an advocate. I work for the senior population, and I'm very proud of that. And I also serve on different boards. And I do not agree with what you guys are doing, because I do not allow that, not even me being a sheriff for the Calexico Housing Authority, I do not allow this circus to happen. I work with professional dignity and respect my colleagues, and that's what you guys are not doing. You guys need to respect each and every one of you, and if none of you took public administration classes, I encourage you to do that, because that's what they teach you. That if you're gonna be serving on a board or on a council, you need to respect each other and the community. And with that said, I just hope that you guys go back, take a look at what you guys are doing. If you guys want to change it to a 4-year, with all means, do it the right way, but not like this. Thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Manzanares.
Buenas noches. La verdad, it's kind of embarrassing that this is going on. I feel secondhand embarrassment, to be honest. I kind of feel secondhand embarrassment, to be honest, right now. I thought it was going to be a very chill and easy meeting, only 2 items, and I would get to enjoy the rest of my birthday. ¿Verdad?
Feliz cumpleaños.
Gracias. Pero pues aquí estamos. You're not going to like me right now, though. Porque what I'm not going to do here is, I really wish we had a different system to appointing mayor.
Yes.
And I really wish it was merit-based, because I do not agree that everybody just gets a turn, even if they haven't been an effective member. We were talking about previous councils, and Rosie and Camila were in the previous council. So during the 2020 pandemic, as we know, it was hard hitting, and also I'm very saddened that this is what we just stand up for, not the important issues. There was an eviction moratorium raised by then council member Bill Hodge to be put on the agenda for discussion. It didn't get a second. It didn't get a second from Camilo. It didn't get a second from Rosie. It didn't get a second from Pacheco. Nobody even bothered, despite this eviction moratorium would have held 46% of Calexico that rents. They didn't even make a motion to put it on the agenda for discussion, completely ignored it. The state of California had to come in and actually enforce it, ¿verdad? Camilo también is the one that sits here, only member in this council that voted against the ARPA Plan B. That includes $3 million investment in downtown, that includes a unique, in the whole state of California, $1 million investment in essential workers, the real essential workers, the cashiers que están allá afuera, no nomás city employees. They've made case studies on the way that Calexico has spent their ARPA plan money. Case studies. So I'm not just gonna sit here and pretend that, like, we're choosing the best person for the position. I don't really care who it is. I don't care if it's Ureña, I don't care if it's Romo. I mean, not Rosa otra vez, ¿verdad? Pero también, like, I didn't see the outreach aquí when Ms. Rosie got her rotation after what she did, ¿verdad? I know Ben Horter was talking about here about, like, the moral ground, that we have a moral ground. I didn't hear you talking about that, ¿verdad? Back then. Aquí, la verdad, mucho favoritism. It's very, very secondhand embarrassment, and that's all I'm going to say about this.
Thank you. You have one? Comment? No? Okay, so there's a motion on, you want to discuss?
I do have some discussion on the item, if I may, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Gilberto, for being very honest about the policy, what we're deciding. To me, the question that is in front of me is, who is the most representative person who should be the mayor of Calexico? Who will be most effective? Who is going to be our outward face in the mayorship? Just to correct Hortensia's history, I voted against Moreno. Romo voted for Moreno. I voted no because, quite frankly, I was angry. But I wasn't angry at Moreno. I was angry what happened on December of 2020 that we've all seen obviously has been forgotten. Very few times as a person who is discriminated, corner after corner in all aspects of life, do I say, because I get tired of saying I'm offended. The only time I've said it today is because it came from my own commissioner over a very sensitive topic, which is my disability. And so, when the time came after elections to decide the new mayor in 2020, the tradition is in the city of Calexico, not written. Tradition is that the person with the most votes, because they got the most votes, is the most representative and should be considered. And you can say I agreed with what happened back then, or I disagreed with what happened back then. But in 2020, I had to stop then Mayor Rosie Fernandez to allow discussion on the topic. I had to pause the meeting and say, point of order, why are we not discussing who the people want to be in that mayorship? And then secondly, which is, I'm transparently, courageously it seems, because very few times is this topic actually discussed. I'm willing to put myself on record. I cannot vote for a person that turned their backs when people were getting evicted for 6 months in the city of Calexico. I cannot vote for somebody who voted against raising the wages through the pandemic of our most essential workers, farm workers, cashiers, pharmacy workers, medical staff, all the people that kept us alive, who voted for a border wall. The city of Calexico is a small city, right? We're a rural town where this kind of politics doesn't happen. But I was not elected to quote unquote work together. I was elected to fight and to bring home the policy victories for the city of Calexico. And right now I'm being tasked with voting on who is going to be the most appropriate, the most effective, and representative mayor of the city of Calexico. And when Ms. Fernandez, in her wisdom, and I thank her for her wisdom, when she nominated the mayor, and sadly, without transparency, didn't say it in public, but she said, I chose Moreno because he's the moderate. We obviously have people who are more conservative. We have people who are more democratic, more liberal. And surely enough, as soon as Rosie Fernandez's term ended in 2021, even despite the fact that I voted against that man, he has brought us all to the table. He has brought us all to agree, well, most of us 4-1, to agree on the ARPA allocation that is bringing us fame, statewide, nationwide, in academic case studies. I'm proud of him. He has grown. And I cannot support someone who is diametrically opposed to the people I was elected to represent in his voting record, y para acabarla, no trae propuestas. There are two working people on this council, and that is myself, and yes, I do have a job, everybody. I do work 7 to 8 hours a day, just like everybody. Ando bien acarreado, y todavía traigo propuestas. Mr. Camilo also works. He works 8 hours a day. He has a full-time job. Ms. Romo is retired. Mr. Moreno is retired, and Ms. Hernandez is retired. All of them honorably from their professions. I want someone who is going to be able to attend all these events. I want someone who is able to take that 12 p.m. meeting in Mexicali or wherever they need to be. And so with all due transparency, those are my justifications. Obviously, I invite you, if you're not in agreement, not only to express yourself, to be here, I'm glad you are here, but absolutely make it heard with your vote. I invite the criticism, I invite the judgment of the people, I accept it. I just want to revisit this conversation 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now and see how this has turned out. When I was, and I'm going to say it this way, when I was discriminated in 2020 from coming into the position of mayorship because I was too young, because I was the first transgender person, when discussion was literally blocked and cut off, no one was there to say a word about the process. The process. We make the process. We amend, we legislate, and I support district elections. It's so unfair that the 5 of us are from East Calexico. Why is there nobody here from West Calexico, where the low-income people are at? We should have district elections. We should have an elected mayor. And we can make those changes. If that's what the people want, and this is what I'm going to do because this is what I'm good at, I will put in a proposal, I will put it to this council, up for a vote. I think the voice of the people has been very clear, aside from what they want, has been very clear as to what their ultimate solution is. You guys want to vote for your mayor. So have at it. Let's write up that ordinance. Let's propose it. Let's get it passed, so we can settle differences from here to the future. And so that is my comment, and I reserve my time. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Ureña, I think you kind of missed something. Mr. Moreno voted along with Mr. Garcia and myself, so you're kind of missing things up. So you're saying that Mr. Garcia is not qualified because of the matter he voted, when all that time Mr. Moreno was voting the same way we were voting?
What I'm saying is that he has obviously grown to be the position of unity where he's at. He's brought us to votes together, and that is what I'm referencing, not his past voting pattern, but where he is right now.
And another thing, Mr. Camilo will be available. I don't know why you keep saying that he's not.
I reserve my comments.
Okay. Anyone else?
Sure. You know what? If I respond, I will be lowering myself to, something that I'm not. Perhaps I haven't brought up, items to the agenda, but I have always been very engaged in the agenda. I do my research. I'm one of the few that ask questions, right? I'm the least controversial. I'm not gonna get into that. But seeing so many ladies here, I want to just end up, these short remarks with a quote. But one of the greatest ladies in spite of however you align. When they go low, we go high. So that's what I'm going to leave. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I did forget to add something. Thank you.
Could you give us legal advice?
Ms.
Rosie,
Fernandez,
please,
I forgot to say something. I'm very sorry about that. Thank you for mentioning the ladies that are here for Esperanza. Mr. Mayor, just to set the record straight, I think since most people are here for Esperanza in a historic, just moment, I feel like we should agendize in our closed session agenda to release who voted for Esperanza, the salary discussions, and who was. I would like to, if you could agendize that so we can make it public who really supports women on this council. You don't want transparency? You don't want to know?
Okay, so.
Moving forward.
All right.
We need information.
So I think we're done. We
Yeah,
have a motion.
I
We have a
nothing
motion on
else
the
to
floor.
say. So, I would just like that item agendized, please.
We have a motion on the floor.
What's the motion? Ms. Roma has comments.
Ok. Yo les agradezco mucho los comentarios. Veo lo que está sucediendo, no crean que no. Entiendo perfectamente los que están a favor y los que están en contra. Quiero decirles algo muy importante. Lo he dicho hasta el cansancio, estoy preparando, educando a la ciudadanía. ¿Saben por qué? Porque el ser un mayor no es importante. Aquí no estamos en Los Ángeles, ni en San Francisco, ni que votaste por un mayor. Aquí nada más es un coordinador que se llama mayor. Y con todo respeto aquí al ingeniero, tampoco es una presidenta municipal ni un presidente municipal. Yo creo que lo he dicho, lo hasta discutí con Norma. Aquí únicamente es un coordinador que coordina una mesa, y Norma, tú lo sabes. Lo mismo lo tuvimos en el distrito escolar, lo mismo lo tuvimos en Heffernan. ¿Cuántas veces me han comentado Gloria, Silvia, las veces que también ahí brincaron a las presidentas? Ándele. Y ahí está una que te brincaron, Gloria. Sí. Y aquí tienes a la que te brincó. Entonces, yo les voy a decir una cosa aquí, miren, muchachos. Me hubiera encantado que en diciembre 10, cuando tomé protesta, hubieran estado aquí ustedes conmigo, caray. ¿Saben qué? Yo no traigo porras. Mucha gente sé que me está mirando. Pero yo no traigo porras, ni que vengan, ni que hablen mal de la gente, ni que vengan y digan que yo soy lo máximo, ni mucho menos, y ese tipo de cuestiones. Ni nada más vengo ni llamo para que vengan a hablar mal del presupuesto, cosas que a veces ni entienden, con todo respeto. Sé perfectamente los grupos que están aquí, los conozco, no votaron por mí, ya lo sé. Si no lo dudo ni tantito, que ahorita ahí en donde está el señor, ¿cómo se llama? El que nos adora, el Jason, ¿cómo se llama ese hombre? Seguramente ya nos tiró y nos dijo hasta lo de que nos íbamos a morir, y la Loli Torres me dice que no habla español y que es la madrina del señor Camilo. O sea, díganme ustedes, sinceramente ustedes no tienen idea, y adoro a la señora, la quiero muchísimo, pero la señora se le olvida quién es quién, con todo respeto. Yo les voy a decir una cosa, esto no es importante, esta coordinación se decide aquí se decide. Nosotros somos los que estamos aquí trabajando, nosotros sabemos cómo estamos trabajando, ustedes no saben cómo nos tiran los proyectos, cómo no dormimos. Ustedes no tienen ni idea, todos los proyectos. ¿Saben una cosa? Diciembre 10 del 2020, entramos con una agenda así, miren. Ese mismo día, aquí está Carlos, el abogado, tuvimos una reunión. Desde ahí empezamos a trabajar. Salimos de ahí de la reunión, tomamos el swearing y todo, y nos venimos a trabajar. ¿Y qué pasó ese día? El señor Camilo, Rosy y el señor Moreno aquí presente, yo no tengo pelos en la lengua. Se pusieron de acuerdo y nos mandaron por un tubo al señor Raúl Ureña y yo. ¿Saben cuántas veces estuvimos así? No tienen ni idea de lo que trabajamos, y no les dolió. Y ustedes no estuvieron aquí para defendernos. Ustedes no se dieron cuenta cómo nos trataron. Mas, sin embargo, ¿qué hicimos? Por amor al arte, por el trabajo. Y aquí estás tú también, Morris, que tuviste mucho que ver en todo esto. ¿Por qué no estuviste ahí tú para defendernos el día que nos quitaron? El señor ganó como nunca nadie ha ganado aquí un candidato en Calexico, nadie. Y luego hubo una candidatura de 4 años, éramos un chorro de gente, yo fui la número 1 también.
¿Y qué pasó con eso? Uy, antes el protocolo era que las personas que ganaban con muchos votos era el que seguía. ¿Eso qué? Se olvidó. ¿Se fijan? Efectivamente, nombraron luego al mayor, a Javier Moreno. ¿Y qué dije yo? No, nadie dijo nada. ¿Pero qué pasó? Que empezamos a trabajar. Ustedes no saben. Hay muchas cosas que suceden en closed session que ustedes no saben ni tampoco lo puedo decir. Yo casi no hablo, ustedes saben muy bien que casi no hablo. Yo estoy aquí para trabajar y voy a trabajar con quien quiera trabajar conmigo. ¿Saben cuántas veces he hablado yo, con todo respeto, con el señor Camilo? 2 veces. ¿Y saben cuántas veces me ha tirado mis proyectos? Casi todos. Oiga, yo les pregunto a ustedes, yo le tengo respeto al señor, le tengo respeto a su esposa, pero Hortensia, tú no eres Camilo. Yo te voy a decir una cosa, he trabajado mucho para estar aquí y tu esposo no me ha respaldado. Entonces tú no sabes eso. Y a mí me interesa sacar la situación de Calexico. Yo quiero que todos tengan, no nomás ustedes aquí, somos 40 y cúbole de miles de habitantes. ¿Dónde están los demás? Aquí estamos para trabajar. Y si queremos que una persona nos coordine, porque hemos estado trabajando bien este año. Ustedes se han dado cuenta. Queremos que una persona nos coordine, que nos vuelva a coordinar. ¿Cuál es el problema? Pues me van a volver a dar un pinochetazo como me lo dieron la vez pasada. Bueno, pues ni modo. Estamos aquí para trabajar. Y eso es todo. No es que estemos a favor, uy, que queremos hacer a alguien. No es importante. Queremos coordinarnos bien, trabajar con quien verdaderamente apoye los proyectos para la comunidad. Eso es lo que queremos. Quiero que salga el ARPA. Quiero que se empiece a trabajar el ARPA. Quiero que la señora Esperanza empiece a trabajar con un equipo de trabajo. ¿Por qué voto ahora a favor de Moreno? Porque por fin estoy viendo que están saliendo mis proyectos. Traje más de 20 proyectos y los que me conocen saben cómo trabajo. Eso es lo que me importa, que la gente de afuera, la de la calle, las personas mayores. Yo me mato por los departamentos, veo que hay algo y me meto y trato de arreglar hasta lo que no. No me importa quién esté. Yo sé que se siente mal el no haber votado por el señor Camilo. Yo no sé si él se sintió bien cuando votó no por mí en aquel diciembre 10. Sabía él muy bien lo que estaba haciendo. Y tú lo sabes muy bien, Morris. Porque tuviste mucho que ver en todo esto. Pero eso no lo saben todos ustedes. No saben quiénes están atrás, de quién. Eso sí era bueno. La señora Rosy, ¿cuántas veces me despreció aquí en la Junta? ¿Cuántas veces me gritó? ¿Saben qué? Ahorita habló Gerardo. Que sepa el jefe de policía. Casi le tuve que poner una orden de restricción a la señora porque me amenazó. Eso no lo saben ustedes. Ay, miren. Entonces, aquí estamos para trabajar, señores y señoras y señoritas. Entonces, la decisión es para nosotros. Somos nosotros los que vamos a decidir, somos nosotros los que vamos a dar resultados a la comunidad. Y vamos a trabajar con alguien que quiera trabajar y que nos coordine. Exactamente. Eso es todo. Y pido perdón por todo. Usted no es la mayor y usted. Esa es la costumbre de esta señora.
Sí, me acuerdo cuando callaba gente en el cabildo.
Okay. All right, so.
No, Esperanza sabe, no se va a asustar, señorita.
No, la
¿Okay? Esperanza sabe muy bien lo que es aquí. Aquí vamos a trabajar y eso es todo.
Okay, so we're done. We're done with this. We're gonna vote on it. There's a motion on the floor. All right.
Hay una moción y una segunda.
What's that?
Who seconded the motion?
We're almost the floor.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm ready to vote.
No, was it?
Oh, no, you seconded.
I seconded,
Yeah,
right?
you seconded.
Yeah, motion was made by Councilman Bureña, seconded by Mayor Moreno.
No, todavía no se vota.
Are you staying as mayor?
It was a vote. There's a motion on the floor. We have to vote.
Hay una
Yes.
moción, pero no se ha votado.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia. Councilmember Arriola Fernandez,
This is not legal, I'm sorry, but you guys are doing it.
Okay, said no. What else?
Councilmember Ureña,
Sí,
Ya ves.
we have a motion on the floor.
Is motion on the floor or no?
There's a motion
Yes,
on the
motion,
floor.
vote.
Okay, and second. But is it legal?
Yes.
Councilmember Ureña,
It's legal, I know.
Councilmember Romo.
No, excuse me. Carlos, that's okay or no?
Like I said, your policy from 2019 says it will be a rotation. I understand there's been rotation since that time. I do understand that previous to that, there was times when the mayor was the same, and that's all I have before me. That's what I'm.
Then you cannot vote. This needs to
So
be
that's what
Okay.
I was able to determine based on what I have in front of me right now.
Carlos, and that's correct. Is I have motion on the floor.
There's a motion, a second on the floor.
Councilmember Romo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, motion passed. Thank you. Okay, so, item number 2, appointment of Mayor Pro Tem Vice Chairperson of the Calexico Community Redevelopment Agency Successor Agency, Calexico Financing Authority for fiscal year 2022-2023. Anybody make a motion?
I have motion to approve Raúl Ureña.
As Mayor Pro Tem? Okay, I'll second that.
Mayor Moreno,
Yes?
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia, Councilmember Arriola Fernandez,
For Mr. Ureña, Mayor Pro Tem. Please say yes.
yes. Councilmember Ureña,
Yes.
Councilmember Romo, yes.
Yes. How much is cast? 4-1. So now we will, I guess, change seats. That's the next order, right? That's the next order. Yeah.
Okay,
See?
what is?
Yes.
I think there's a public comment on the floor. Ahí está la Gisa.
Okay, good. Name and address.
Good evening, Council, and congratulations. I'm sorry? Good
Yes.
evening, Council, and congratulations, Esperanza.
Victor, close the door. Thank you.
I promise I won't take too much of your time because I know that this meeting has ran a lot longer than it should have. But
Your name and address.
Jaisal Mendoza, resident of Calexico,
Okay.
Jaisal Mendoza community member, Jaisal Mendoza director of the Small Business Development Center. I will tell you though that I was at home working on a proposal to submit for funding for our community, something very important that'll benefit all of our cities in Calexico. And I can tell you that my blood is boiling right now with everything that's going on. It saddens me to see that a beautiful day that should have been a celebration for Esperanza has turned into a show for everyone feeding into this, for the yelling. You know, you guys are elected officials. You are running everyone off that could potentially come into our community. I'm like enraged, and I really considered not coming tonight. I had been home this whole evening watching this meeting, and I'm at a loss of words right now because I do not recognize the people that we placed in our leadership position tonight. And I really hope that you guys can get your act together because it is embarrassing to know that everybody in the Imperial Valley constantly states, you know, it's Calexico, it's common behavior. You know, everyone here is advocating teamwork. I'm doing things for the community. No, you're not. No, you're not. All of this is so embarrassing, and I'm literally shaking right now. And I feel the need to apologize to Esperanza because if I was her, I'd be asking myself, what did I just get myself into? So please think about that. Please consider what you guys do and your behavior because you represent all of us in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so, Clerk Garcia, so that we, now there's change seats. So my right is Mayor Pro Tem, right? Ureña. Ready? Okay. Following that is a comment by outgoing Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem. So it's been a year for me, learning experience, and we've gone through a lot of challenges. Obviously, the ARPA, the budget we're about to soon approve. We've been working hard on that. There's some changes are coming as far as the downtown, the New River project. Obviously, the port of entry, working on that. And I thank everybody for supporting me, allowing me the opportunity to serve, and then also allow the opportunity to serve another year. Appreciate that. Thank you. Mr. Garcia?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to, first of all, apologize for the words that were said in reference to my wife. When the only thing that, she said, just to highlight a few things that, we're private people. We don't need fancy titles, it is true. I don't need to be posting on Facebook or doing videos. That's not me, right? But what I can tell you is that I have the best interest of the community at heart. And yes, we disagree and things were said, but you know what? It is expected. And I don't think that makes you better or worse. We're here because we all wanted to, help the community. My availability to meetings and events has always been there. I know for a fact that I have covered for the mayor when he has not been available, when he has to be the one available. So that argument, it's not quite accurate. But anyway, so I'm not here to rebut any type of whatever was said. What I'm looking forward is just to continue to work for the city, regardless of title or not. I'm a public servant. I have been a public servant for many years. I don't need to, justify myself. People that know me, people that don't know me, hopefully they give me a chance to get to know me and just continue to do. I'm a straight shooter. I don't get behind. I don't hide myself behind anything. I don't do backroom deals. That's not me. Okay, and it's not gonna be me. Okay, so yeah, it sounded like this was some sort of getting back at someone. Well, no, they got back at the people of Calexico. So, and then also, I before I forget, I do want to apologize also for something that was mentioned about Ms. Loli Torres. She's someone that I truly respect. She's someone that is in a whole different level, and she shouldn't be even mentioned or be named. She's someone that is respected, has done a lot of work. Her family has done a lot of work. Her husband is there. The council chambers are, were named after him because of the work that they have done. So to mention just someone like that lightly, shame on those individuals. Shame on them. But again, I welcome, the opportunity to continue working with all of my colleagues. And I think, it was said that, how many times have we worked together? Well, there's no initiative from any side. So it's not just me. But what I can tell you, I'm going to continue to do my due diligence, to inform myself, to read the agendas, to have the best interests at heart of our community. So thank you, and well, best of luck to the new officers. But again, hopefully the title suits you well. Hopefully the title gets you so drunk that, well, doesn't get you too drunk. That you're able to make decisions, that will benefit the community. I thank you to my wife, thank you to my son. Those are the testaments of what we have been able to build. Okay? And I don't have to mention that. I think all of you know who they are and who we are. But thank you, best of luck to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. And next is the incoming Mayor Pro Tem comments.
Well, I haven't really prepared any comments. I'm quite shocked too. But we do have the budget process, specifically ARPA, which is going to be, it's a case study for this community. It's what's made this community famous across the state. We're righting a lot of wrongs towards the most low income, the most affected people, albeit maybe 2 years late. But we are here, have a lot of projects. The biggest project that we have on this table is the continuing resolution on the budget. We have to rework, remake this budget to be the most responsive, to be competitive, to make it responsive and adaptable to an upcoming recession that we're seeing the indicators to. And I will not let my people down. I thank Mr. Camilo in his humility towards the decisions of this council. I appreciate his fellowship, su hermandad, in the acceptance of the decision of the majority of the council, and I do have all the faith in the world, toda la fe de mi corazón, que vamos a seguir trabajando no solamente juntos, pero merecidamente recio como esta comunidad se merece, en corregir los hechos del pasado. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. So, Mr. Camilo Garcia, I have a plaque for you for your service as Mayor Pro Tempore, and it reads like this. For your service as Mayor Pro Tempore of the City of Calexico City Council, July 20th to July 2021 to July 2022. Calexico City Council, Javier Moreno Mayor, Raul Ureña Council Member, Gloria Romo Council Member, Rosie Arriola Hernandez is Council Member, July 6, 2022. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by who?
Let's just direct us that there was also a plaque from Mr. Moreno to present them also, but I guess this will be a moot point now. So anyway, we'll save it for next time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So motion to adjourn by who?
Oh, you made a motion? I'll second.
Did you second it? Okay. All's in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Recording stopped.